Hey, good evening. It's just me. Chris is me and my co-host back there. Or he's on that side. There he is. He's back behind me. See him back there? I have a new co-host for tonight because Chris is has a headache and didn't want to join me. So just me tonight. No Scooter. Scooter's back there. Hello, Scooter. There you go. Him. Uh, anyway, how's everyone doing? Hope you had a good weekend. Hello, John McGinnis, Celine, Anna, Heather, Kathy, Laura, Deb, Karen. How's everyone doing? Yeah, happy Monday. Um, Boy, strange weekend. Strange weekend. We were kind of busy. We I had mentioned that we did the tour for the family from Utah, and I think I mentioned that during the live stream how we did that on Memorial Day, and then we had the mind walk, ghost walk, whatever we're calling it, the ghost walk on Saturday. Hey George, how are you? And hey David, and that was a lot of fun. We were worried about the weather. It was raining in Jersey like all week. Hey William, um, and when it rains like that, and it was downpour, especially like the night before we did the ghost walk. That water is just, hey Christina, is in the mine. It's on the ground. It's coming leaking from the ceiling. It's, and you know the weird thing about the mine. Um, Ideally, yes, you would want a dry mine. You would want perfect conditions. You know, you have the echo. You have the darkness. You have the minerals that people think add to, hold the energy and add to the activity. But I'll tell you, man, we get some good EVPs when the water is dripping. I don't know if that contributes to the activity there. Chris was saying that we got some really good EVPs on Saturday. And you think we wouldn't be able to because of the bloop, 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 all the drops, but man, did we get some good stuff. It was a really good time, and of course the um, the ghost walks are supposed to be an hour and a half, and I think we went 2 hours each tour because when it's fun and we get into it, we don't really pay attention to time all that much. So the first group, um, we started at, I want to say 6:30, right? Right? Maybe 6:30 to 8. It was no, it was supposed to be 6 to 7:30. Hey Gina, and we went 6 to 8. That's right. And hey, and it was just, the mine is so big. It's really kind of hard to cover in an hour and a half. You know, so the first group we had some familiar faces. Maria was there, Tamara was there, Patricia was there. I don't remember who else was there that were familiar faces. Not a lot. A lot of new people, and that's why we do the ghost walks too, because younger people, kids could go. Not little kids like 5 years old, 7 years old, nine, but I mean like 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 11-year-old. We've had 11-year-olds. As long as they're with their parents, we always tell their parents, say you're responsible for them. If they can handle it, great. If not, then you're going to have to take them out of there. So I'm just looking at the video of Scooter behind me, cracking myself up. But we had a lot of new people, and that's again what the Ghost Walks are for, so that new people get just a little taste of what we do and how we do it. Especially at the mine. And it was a really good time. Hey Brian, um, we got right off the bat. If you've ever been in the mine with us, or if you've seen any of the videos, when you enter the mine, you go down this long corridor, and at the end of that is called the skip. It's the thing that lowered them down into the mine, all the different levels, and we got some good EVPs there. I mean, both groups we got good EVPs there. A little bit with the equipment, but surprisingly enough, some good EVPs there, and uh, it's great for us because when it comes to the ghost walks, we're not looking to charge a lot. It's an hour and a half. Um, it's $20. We're looking again to just give people kind of a taste or a little bit of an idea of what we do and how we do it, along with going in the mine in the dark. So when you get those EVPs right off the bat, it's like the $20 that the people spent, they're happy because they literally. I think with the first group, I think there was three EVPs within the first session that we did together. So it was pretty good right off the bat. And then we went down to the again we had to pick our places because there were certain areas where water the back end of the mine was completely flooded out where we usually end. Couldn't even go down there where the lake is. So we had to pick our spots around the giant puddles and the water dripping. So we picked out 4 or 5 different spots where we knew we could bring people. And the second spot that we picked was right where kind of all the mannequins are and all the drilling equipment. Hey, Kathy. And got some stuff there where people, when we turned the lights out, felt like they felt cold just brushed by them. One guy, I'll never forget, I called him Otto because he had a Raider jersey on that said Otto. And he apparently caught, um, he said it was small. He said it was the size of like a ball, a thermal image of something moving in the mine behind him because he was looking the opposite end. Hey, Patricia. So he caught something on the thermal imager in that one, and there really shouldn't be any heat signatures when the lights have been off for a long time. I mean, and that mine is 56 degrees all the time. It was actually colder outside than it was inside. It was the weather in Jersey is just bizarre. I mean, it was really cold that night, and but we had some good stuff in the what we call the rainbow room. It's where the rocks are that glow under the black light. We caught some relevant voices there. Um, child, we heard like a child, like a child, like moan, which was really weird. We heard children the last 2 times we were there, which is kind of strange. After all the times of being there, we didn't hear children. Now we're hearing children. Weird. Um, and then we showed them the dynamite demonstration where they could hear all the booms. And we ended. Now, I had been in this area before. Again, if you're not familiar with the mine, you wouldn't kind of know this area. But even if you have been in there, you probably wouldn't know this area. As you're walking through the mine and you're past where the fluorescent rocks are, you make a left and you start making your way down the mine. There's an area where they actually have a dynamite demonstration set up with 2 mannequins, and they demonstrate how they would dynamite a wall. And they drill, they have holes in 6 different areas, and it makes a noise like a screech, and then you hear boom, boom. If you go down a ways from there, there's 2 mannequin miners and one of those whatever things, the big things with the wheels on them that they would push the rocks around in. But unbeknownst to most people, you can get around that, and there's a whole open section back there. Hey, Taryn. And we never really brought people back there before. At least I didn't. And Chris kept saying there, she kept referring to him, hey, Roger, as the angry miner. And boy, did he show up. We got some good EVPs there. We had the equipment going off. We had Todd and Carmela. They were they bought tickets for both groups for the early session and last session, which was cool because they got to see the activity both times. But in that specific area, we got EVP saying "get out," and we kind of asked for confirmation of that by saying, "Hey, we had the trip wires. Everybody's holding on to them. We're like, if you want us out, light up the whole row. There were two rows of people holding tripwires and straight down. All of them lit up. And it was like, okay, now what do we do? Because they said get out. They demonstrated. Now what do we do? Well, on the second group, the coolest thing ever happened. And I was so glad that there were so many people around to witness it, because I think the first session, I think each session we had about 17 people. Maybe it was 15 and 17, something like that. But the second session had more people, and they were the ones who witnessed this light come on. Now, the Sterling Hill mine has lights throughout the mine that we turn off when we do our ghost hunts and our ghost tours. There are switches every, I don't know, 50 feet. There's a switch on the wall that lights up a portion of the mine. And the lights don't come on if you don't flip the switch. That's the only way the lights come on. So we're in the area with the angry miner, and get out, and the lights are lighting up. All of a sudden, from where we are, you could see the bucket thing, the prop, and you could see the back of the mannequins, and then there's, you go back into the mine. This light shined bright as if someone, either with a headlamp or a flashlight or something, this light just lit up real bright out there. And we saw the silhouette of the mannequins along with the silhouette of the bucket. I thought, because it was getting close to the end of the session, that Chris sometimes will go and kind of pick up stuff and kind of put it back in the cart, and so we can get out of there in a reasonable amount of time. Hey, Tina, I thought Chris was over there using our flashlight to kind of put stuff away. When that light came on, Chris was the one who said, "Whoa, look at that." And I looked at her and I looked at the light, and everybody looked at the light, and everybody was there. Everybody was right there in front of me. And no one could explain where that light came from or what it was. It just, I said, I thought it was Chris. Chris was right there sitting on this metal thing 5 feet away from me. No one could explain where that light came from. I've seen what appears to be flashlights or headlamps in the distance before. I'm talking way down the corridor from where I am, never 15 feet away from me like that was. It was just, it didn't look like someone flicked a switch and turned the light on, because then the whole corridor would have lit up. It looked like someone shined a flashlight or a headlamp right outside the area where we were. Like they were like coming by to see what was going on back there. Really super cool. And again, I'm not the only one who saw it. Chris isn't the only one who saw it. There was 17 other people in that area that saw that were just like, holy shoot. I mean, one of the coolest things that's ever happened there. Hello, Luann. Hello, Diana. Yes, Scooter's here. Scooter's wearing his NJP hat. There he is. Much prefer Scooter. Scooter will agree with me, and Scooter won't make a fuss. Scooter won't interrupt me, right, Scooter? Scooter just hangs. That's all he does. No, Patricia, I'm sorry your group didn't see that, because, again, I have 17 people that witnessed that, and it was crazy, crazy, amazing. Amazing. One of those things where I'm going to remember that one. That goes in the archives as I'm not going to forget in that mind. One of the that's on the list. There's three things that I really remember. Hey, Nikki, in the mind for me. I know other people have experienced other things. I remember the shadow running by me in the office and going down the stairs right in front of me. Saw it with my own eyes. Actually, four things. I remember the bang that we caught on video where Chris shot it underneath the chain when we were asking the spirit hey Nicole, when they died. I remember I said the shot. That light is definitely number three on the list. Number four involves Cody and Satori. When they were there, they had the doll Liza, and I'll never forget this one. Liza supposedly is one of those objects that talks, is more active when it's further away from you and you talk to her. We put it in a room across the hall from where we were. I was the one who set it down. I set it down on a table. I'll demonstrate with. I have see no. I have my assistants. So say Scooter is Liza. I put Scooter Liza down facing that way. Okay, and on a stand. We went down the hall. We were doing EVPs. I went back to fetch the recorder because it was by Liza. And when I went back in the room, Liza was facing that way towards the wall in front. Totally different direction. Thank you, Scooter. They already more helpful than Chris. Scooter's already doing more already. That was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen too. And I guess there's another one too, because in the hatch where John Zaffis said the mafia in that building, I got an EVP saying kill him. Pretty cool too. So there's a bunch of things in the mind um, that I can think about in that place. And I'm curious to see again. I could use this to plug the event. There's like 4 tickets left for Dalen, June 21st, the week after the wedding. June 21st, there's only 4 tickets left for Dalen at the mine. And again, after what we just witnessed there, and again, these were hour and a half groups that we got three EVPs and saw what we saw. So Dalen's going to be there for the meet and greet for an hour, and then 4 hours of the ghost hunt where you're going to be in the mine, you'll be in the other buildings. But if you could make it to that event, definitely come check that out. Dalen's first time there, June 21st. You have to email New Jersey Paranormal, 3 words, New Jersey Paranormal, together, 1 word, at yahoo.com. Chris has a headache. She was kind of feeling run down today. So she just went and lied down. She got a heating pad on and I was like that yesterday. I hurt my neck um, before the ghost walk and I was in pain the whole entire time. And I almost tapped out at least 2 or 3 times because I was in so much pain. I had that heating cream on me. I was taking Tylenol and nothing helped. But unlike Chris, I show up. That's what I do. Speaking of that, tomorrow night, I don't know whether she's going to be with me or not, but I do plan on going back to the Creeper Gallery tomorrow. So 8 o'clock, so 7:30 tomorrow night, Creeper Gallery. So haunted objects. Gigi, am I saying that right? Great event on Saturday. Thanks to Gigi. Were you part of the first group or the second group? Could you tell me that? I'm not sure which group you were in because I was just talking about what happened with the second group, and I wanted to know if you were part of that one or you came in with the first group. So if you can get a chance, just let me know what group you were part of. But I will be going to the Creeper Gallery tomorrow, starting 7:30. I got a itching. It's been a week that I didn't go there last week with the haunted objects, so I'm itching to get back and investigate some haunted objects. Second group. So Gigi can vouch for what happened in that area that I was talking about, where the mannequins were and the bucket was. Um, Gigi, I was talking about how that light came on from out of nowhere, and nobody knows or knew where it came from and what it was. It just boom, it was on. And this is after we got some good EVPs and the lights. When we asked if we should get out, the lights lit up. I was talking about that. Gigi was one of the people in that group that was there for that happening. Do you still keep in contact with Amy Allen? I haven't heard from Amy in probably, I want to say at least 4 months. I've reached out to see how she's doing, and no, haven't heard back from her. I wished her happy birthday. Her birthday was just a couple of days ago, but no, I really haven't heard from Amy. I like Amy a lot, and I know she was going through some stuff after the show, so I just kind of every now and then I reach out, and that's about it. But the other thing that happened, and again, back to the ghost walks again. We really enjoy those on weeks that we're not doing anything. So, but there are weeks that we want off, of course. Yeah, I was just talking about that, Gigi, the EVP that said "get out," pretty damn clear. That's what I. That's what I again. I love it when we get a group of people that haven't really experienced that stuff before, and you get them in there, and stuff happens. You always hope it's going to happen and that they have an experience, but you can never guarantee that, of course. But we enjoy the ghost walks because they're short and there's so much area to cover, and we just enjoy being around. It's one big group of people just going through the mine, and we do different things, and we enjoy doing them. So we are going to work it out to where we are going to do more dates in the summer and in the fall. I'm pretty sure the next one we're going to probably do is June 28th. I think is the next one we're going to do. But we do enjoy doing them. Just when we did them last time, when we did them in the fall, we were doing on Sundays, and we were doing 4-hour ghost hunts on Saturday nights, and we were exhausted. So we're going to try to find a way to work that out. But I love doing them because when you get a night like we had the other night, it again, she just said it. Never experienced it myself, only seen it on TV. It was cool to experience it firsthand. That's what you hope for every single time, is that you're going to give people that, hopefully that experience, or something, is going to happen, because that's what makes it real for all of us. You can watch a million TV shows about Bigfoot, and if you never see him, or you never whatever, then how do you ever know? But the paranormal stuff, at least you can go out there and do it and hope to have an experience. And that was, again, something else that happened this week, where yesterday um, we visited that Masonic Lodge. I haven't been in a Masonic Lodge for about, God, it's got to be 15 years. The last one we investigated, maybe more. I don't even think we were New Jersey Paranormal back then. But this lodge is smaller, much, much smaller than the one we investigated all those years ago. But it's got claims of activities. People claim to see things. Uh, People claim to hear things. The building itself is very old. Uh, what's cool about this building is at one time, um, it was like an Oddfellows place, or they rented out part of the building that the building is in. And the, the guy we're walking through, not that it's funny, he was like, I know there are remains in this building somewhere. He was showing me different parts of the basement, how it's like cut off, and you could access one part walking through like this cutout of a wall. Another part, there's a cutout on the top, and he's like, there are remains here. He's like, we don't know exactly where because we haven't been able to look into different areas, but people have seen them in the past and have told us about them. So they did leave stuff behind. And if you don't know anything about the Oddfellows, they would do like rituals with skeletons and stuff. So that kind of really uh, piqued my interest about the building. And then hearing the stories about what they were seeing, and, you know, the things they were hearing, and it was everywhere. It was in the common area where the kitchen was. It was, of course, upstairs. Most of the activity happens where they do their meetings and their whatever it is they do. But the basement as well. I heard that in the basement is where the Oddfellow stuff was kind of stored or left when they. So who knows? The one person we met with claims to have abilities, though sensitive or even have mediumship abilities. The way he was describing it, he sees them all over, and but he's not the only one. So that's a matter of setting up a day and a time and figuring out when and how we're going to go in there. I mean, if anything, just for a look. Um, I'm sure we could stream it if we ask them, but I don't know if we want to do that again because it is a Masonic lodge and you know it's kind of you know I'd rather not do it that way. Maybe we'll film it and then show it, but I don't think we'll stream it live. But it's always about going in there and seeing if you can see stuff yourself. And we told them that. It may be one night, it may be 2 nights, depending on anything happens. We've been able to investigate entire buildings in one night before and just go from floor to floor for an hour or two and nothing, 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 nothing. And then we schedule another time to go back and nothing, nothing, nothing. And it's just like, hey, you know, we're not we're not going to do events here because really nothing's happened, you know. Whereas other buildings, we get bogged down on the first floor for 3 hours because so much is going on. So a Masonic lodge is really interesting to me. People were really super nice. The person that I was working with initially has raised so much money for so many people. We were going into his past and just good people, good people. But that's another thing that we'll be doing, I'm sure, in the next few weeks, and it'll be good to try to get the group together to do it on a weekend where we're not doing anything, so we could all go in there and see what's what. You never know. And the funny thing is, because we do what we do, it's normal for me to go into a building with a recorder and other things and just do what we do. It's second nature to me. That's why I go back to the ghost walks and any ghost hunt in particular where people are joining us, I'll always, we do EVP sessions. So do you have a question? Do you have a question? And it amazes me, and not that I'm saying it's a negative thing, but it amazes me how people don't have questions because how many questions could you ask a person just in general? Forget about did you die here or, what did you die from or, just, what did you do for a living? How long did you live here or work here? What did you like to eat? What was your favorite drink? Did you have a hobby? Like there's a million questions you could ask a person. And when people don't have questions, they're always like, wow, how would you not have a question? And maybe you're the person who would have got the answer. That's the frustrating part of it. But anyway, but when we were in the Masonic Lodge and this person is telling us all the things that he has seen and felt. And I said, you never thought about, taking a recorder with you and just putting it down, sitting and just seeing if whoever you're seeing would answer you as well? And he's just like, no, I never thought of that because I see them from time to time, or I feel that they're watching me and, I just kind of let them do their thing and I don't engage. And I think people might be a little apprehensive about engaging because they're afraid of what could happen after, I guess. Like leave well enough alone. I get that too, but uh, I'm more curious. I want to know who and why and how. So I'm going to ask those questions. The question part of the walk was very interesting. That's part of being a paranormal researcher slash investigator. No different with haunted objects. It's no different when you're in a building. Um, it's the same process. You're trying to interact and communicate with whoever's there and get information, whether to help people who live there or to help the spirit or just to figure out who it is you're speaking with. You know, that's all part of it. But that lodge is very old. One a smaller lodge for sure, but I'm not a sensitive or psychic man. But that basement, woo, there is one area. I think, oh God, I should have uploaded the pictures. I'll upload them on Facebook after this. The only place I took pictures was the basement. Why? I've seen their altar rooms before. I've seen the really big ones, and now this one's kind of smaller. Um, but something about this basement to me, and the guy we were touring with, who claims to be a sensitive or medium, have those kind of abilities, he kept saying, like, here, there's eyes on us. There's eyes on us. Like, I could feel that around us. And I didn't say anything to him, but I was kind of picking up on that a little. Like, there was one area, and it may have been, you know, you get those childhood fears where your mind kind of messes with you a little, but I can't describe this wall to you. It's an entire old brick wall. But remember, like, those old cartoons where, like, I'm dating myself, but like Bugs Bunny and stuff, like they would run into a wall and there was just the imprint of them as they crashed through the wall, like a cutout of their body. This one long brick wall just has a cutout. It's like oval shaped that leads into the adjacent basement. And I don't know if it somebody did that on purpose just to get in there for something, or just over time it just deteriorated that way. But you could see through to the other basement, and they have a lot of wooden beams, I guess, keeping that floor up. And I just kept feeling like there was somebody in there watching. And as he's talking to me, I was so distracted because he's kind of on, I'm going to use Scooter again. So he's kind of like this, and we're talking, but that basement was on my peripheral over there. And as he's talking to me, my eyes just kept wandering and wandering to the cutout. And I could swear that I saw a shadow just standing there right next to one of the wooden uh, beams that were holding it. I could swear it was there the whole time when I kept looking in and out of there. It was there and then it wasn't. And it was there. And I just was like, I kept saying to him, something's in there. And he's, oh, they're all around us. They're all around us. So it was really cool because it was almost like, hey, Jonathan, it was almost like Shining esque in that in their main meeting room, they have two big giant frames on either side of the room with members that have passed. And, you know, we're talking from early 1900s all the way up to now. And you just see photo, 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 photo on either wall. And it's just like, and there's their names underneath them. And you're thinking, you know, I don't really know a lot about the Masons and what their beliefs are. And I know they're kind of secretive kind of group. Um, but it would be cool to think, because he's going to come with us too. The guy who took us on a tour, I think his name is Jim. Jim is going to be with us the first time we investigate because A, he's a Mason, and B, he claims to have these ability to see where spirits are and feel them. Why not? Why not use that? If anything, just being a member and knowing how to approach another member helps. So the first time we go in there, he'll definitely be with us. And I'm really curious to see what we get. It may be nothing, but it's worth trying. It's worth experiencing. At the very least, we wasted, 4 hours or whatever. At the most, we could have an experience unlike we've ever had anywhere because they claim to see. The Masons have this, I guess, this room where they prepare for their whatever it is, the rituals, whatever they're doing, and they kind of They change, they put the robes on or whatever it is they do, and they go from that room. They had a bigger one in the other lodge that we did. That's where they see the shadow figures come out of. Not only here, but there too at the other place. It was very, very common for them. It was part of their routine. They would go in there and change, and they would come out and do their whatever it is they do. So again, cameras, equipment, recorders, motion sensors. You just blanket all of that entire meeting room to see what you pick up there. And again, I can imagine what a estate method is going to be like there. Could you imagine? You know, us trying it and maybe Jim trying it. You never know. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because there are a lot of places I've been in where I thought, it was going to be really good, and you walk out of there just tired and kind of like, not this time, but it's worth a shot, right? So we'll fit that in somehow. We've got the wedding coming up a week from Saturday. Chris and I are actually going for our marriage license tomorrow, where we have the application all filled out. We have to bring a witness with us, and I think it takes 72 hours to get the actual marriage license, and uh, it's going to be here before you know it. I mean, a week from Saturday is the wedding, which will be really, really strange to think that, like, 2 weeks from today we'll be married, which is weird to think all this time we weren't and now we will be, you know. But yeah, that's coming up too. I announced the Centenary University July 5th. I know people are away that weekend. 4th of July, big weekend. Everybody goes to the shore, they go away. I would like Scooter to be a witness. I don't think they'd accept that. But you bring up Scooter. Um, you guys are going to get me sidetracked. There was a movie. I think it was called The Beaver. And I don't know if anybody saw this movie, but Mel Gibson, it was like his first movie back after all the trouble he got in. I think Jodie Foster directed it, but Mel Gibson he had some kind of psychological trauma where the only way he could talk to his friends and family, his daughter and stuff, was through a puppet of a beaver. And he literally slept with it, had it on all the time. And the only time you talk to Mel Gibson, his character in the movie, was through the beaver. The beaver would talk to you. Mel would just be in the background. And I think Scooter's eventually going to become that for me. He's going to be my mouthpiece. Great minds. No. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. And again, there's so many things in the works as far as places that um, want to work with us that we might be working with. Uh, so, people want new places. There may be a few next year, but Centenary University, again, is another one of my favorites. I really enjoy, the person we met there that we worked with. Really, really nice person, Darlene. That building is another one of those buildings where some nights will surprise the heck out of you. I love being in the library. I kind of stumbled upon that when I heard from the librarian and others that they had seen shadow figures there and that they had heard stuff there. So I think the last event we did there, I got some good stuff. But I really like Centenary University. I know people get stuff in the little theater is another spot that we take people in. We actually filmed the weirdest thing ever in the little theater where there were balloons that are underneath the stage, and we filmed an SLS figure down there. So we took the balloons and we put them on the stage, and we went to investigate. And behind the theater, we came back. The balloons were right back where we got them from. Now, the odds of them blowing all the way off and landing right back where we got them from, kind of weird. Could, maybe. But we've gotten good stuff in the cathedral. We've gotten good stuff in the little theater, as well as the library. So again, that one we just kind of mentioned and we just put out there. I just made that new video. So if you're interested, Centenary University, that one's only $55. All that money goes to the programs at the college. We're 501, so we donate all the money. So again, if you've been, come again, come hang out with us. If you haven't, you should check it out. You new people that came to the mine, it would be your first shot at a 4-hour event. So you can see the difference between, imagine that hour and a half stuff that we did over 4 hours in many different locations with different people doing different things. That's what the longer ghost hunts are. We go to a lot of different places. So you would have to, for tickets to that, you could either email me, or the link is actually on all the ads that I posted. You can actually click and go right to the site, change the quantity, and buy your tickets directly from Centenary. We don't usually do that a lot, but for this event, you can do that. So you can go right to the link, click on it, and buy as many tickets as you want. That's July 5th from 8 p.m. to midnight. Going to be very, very cool. The building itself looks awesome. I show it in the ad with a dome on the top of it. And again, the way we found out about that was, believe it or not, Girl Scouts, of all things, they wanted to do one of their fun team, whatever events. They wanted to do a ghost hunt. So they reached out to another group. The other group was supposed to do it. Something happened where they couldn't do it. So they contacted us. And I'm like, where's this? And they told me where it was. And I saw the pictures of the building with the dome. And then I just Googled it because I heard about Tilly. Tilly's a woman who worked in the kitchen. Tilly stayed out past hours, past curfew. The building was locked. She couldn't get back in the building. They found her body behind that building. She had been assaulted and murdered. So people, the spirit of Tilly is what they talk about there, but there are other spirits there. I think who's ever in the library is part of the archive room. The archive room has lots of old books and photo albums and other like pictures and things that people donated to the college that used to go to school there or live there. I think whoever the shadow man is in the library came from out of that archive room. So I think he's a little different, but really cool building. So we decided we're going to do this because we wanted to do this for the Girl Scouts, and we wanted to investigate the building because we're in New Jersey did an article where supposedly when they were there interviewing people who had seen the ghost of Tilly, they saw shadow people in the cathedral with their own eyes. It's in the article. Good enough to try it, right? Had a great time with the Girl Scouts. We've done that now probably 5 times, 6 times. And then we started doing our own events there where we were bringing people in. And again, one of my favorite places for sure. So again, if you attended the Ghost Walk and you want to try a ghost hunt, go on that link, look for the ticket link, and you can purchase tickets right from there. I think there's like 7 left, maybe. So July 5th. So we have tickets for that left, and we have about 4 tickets left for Dalen on June 21st. So those are your opportunities for like into summer, because then we're doing the Battlefield Bash. I don't think July, I think we're doing one thing maybe July 5th. I think that might be the only thing we're doing in July, because then we're doing the Battlefield Bash. So I don't think there's any other events in July. I think that might be the only one. I'm pretty sure it is. But I think that might be the only one. So July 5th, Centenary University. If you guys want tickets, go to the link. Other than that, I'm going to try to set up more interviews. I literally had a conversation with John Zaffis today where we're talking about he's on TikTok now. So if you're on TikTok, you want to follow John Zaffis, he's going to be doing different stuff on there. You should definitely check out John Zaffis on TikTok. But we're talking to John. I was talking to John today, and we were talking about some of his old cases, and I'm fascinated by that stuff. But I do want to start doing interviews again and having more people on. But unfortunately, I have to work all that out. Again, no offense to the person who's not here right now, but I have to set a lot of that up, and it takes time because I got to reach out, I got to schedule, I got to figure out who's going to be on and what we're going to do, and Scooter's still training, but I will get Scooter up to speed soon so he can start filling in and helping with that stuff too, because Lord knows it's hard doing it all myself. It's too hot today to go into sun. No, I don't think so. I don't look. I've done investigations in the dead of winter and in the hottest buildings you can imagine, and stuff happens regardless. So we have a good time there, no matter what. So tomorrow night, like I said, going into the Creeper Gallery. It's been a while. It seems like a while. It's only been 2 weeks, but I love going there. I love investigating new objects. But you never know what's going to happen. Not sure if Chris is going to join me. She's kind of tuckered, and she's doing a lot of stuff with the wedding and get ready for that. So if I go alone, I'll go alone. No big deal. The other thing we're working really hard on, of course, is the expo. For those of you who don't know, I don't know where you've been, but if you're new to following us and watching, we have been organizing the New Jersey Power Unity Expo Paranormal Convention for 10 years. Number 11 is coming up November 8th, week before my birthday, just in case you're wondering. Our lineup is really, really good. We've got Ghost Hunters, Ghost Brothers, Kindred Spirits with Chip Coffee, Haunted Collector, John Zaffis, Brian Cano. We've got Maria and Russell from Expedition Bigfoot. We've got Tom Winterton from Skinwalker Ranch, Jay Wasley from Ghost Adventures, who I'm looking forward to meeting. I've been going back and forth with him on Instagram probably once a week. And we're trying for one more. If we're able to get this next one, which I should know this week or next week, probably next week, that'll be a really, really cool, another really cool one for me. I hope for you guys as well. But, the VIP party sales have been picking up now since announcing Jay Wasley. He'll be at both parties. The admission sales are getting, going good now. So again, that weekend, November 8th, is probably the last convention of the year for anywhere. Come out if you can, only $25. The parties are awesome to go to because, of course, you get way more face time. It's a party. You drink, you eat, there's a DJ, and the celebrities are just they're around. You can approach any one of them, get a picture, have a conversation. They're there. It's a party. We like to begin with a party and we end with a party. And Katrina will be there. I forgot to mention Katrina. Katrina will be there. Probably left others out as well. Kalani's going to be there. Cody Satori's going to be there. Haunted Knights will be back there again. Brian Murray and Rochelle, who are really nice people from the other Ghost Adventures. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but there's going to be a lot of people there, and it's just a good time. We're adding a brand new, and I'm really, really happy about this because I've known this guy for years now, Rick. Believe it or not, there is a thing called the Talking Board Society, Ouija boards. And these guys have been around for a long time. They're probably my age, most of them. And they were part of a Talking Board Society where they would do the research. They would get together at conventions. And these guys know everything there is to know. They're not just collectors of Ouija boards who have, you know, different styles of Ouija boards from Pink Floyd and whatever, Nirvana and, you know, Mickey Mouse. These guys know everything there is. And this guy, Rick, who's been doing this forever and is on the Talking Board Society board, Rick went to Michigan for a paranormal convention. I don't know how many years ago. They built one of the world's largest Ouija boards. You can look that up. Michigan Paracon, world's largest Ouija board. I think it was like the size of a football field, and the planchette was huge. Rick is the guy designing our Ouija board room this year. And from what I hear, he is promising me, him and his wife Kate, that they're going to create something that we've never seen before. So our exhibit rooms are always pretty cool. We have Mike Vermillion, you guys met him, the Bigfoot guy. We have Rick Schreck. Yep. We have the mortuary room, although I don't know if that one's coming back this year. I hope it will. Not 100% sure. But we're looking to add to it and add to it and add to it. So haunted object room, of course. Cody Satori and John Zaffis, they'll be back in their room. So we try to add to it, expand upon it, just to give you as much of an experience as you can get in that one day and meet, you know, the people you want to meet. Ghost Brothers. Did I mention Ghost Brothers? They'll be there, the Ghost Brothers. All those people attend the lectures, go to the exhibit rooms, hang out with other people, go to the parties. You'll love the parties. Get tickets to the parties if you can. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. Always have a great time with the parties. And again, you'll meet other people that follow us and other people that love the shows and do what we do. Other paranormal investigators will be there. Lots of vendors selling cool stuff. My daughter will be vending there, of course, again with her awesome tumblers and light boxes, but clothing, merch, Bigfoot stuff, UFO stuff, paranormal stuff, just horror stuff, just everything you can think of. What else that I was thinking of that was going to be there that I can't remember right now. But anyway, we're working on all of this stuff and a wedding. So, yeah, it's a lot. So, those of you who are coming to the wedding, we'll see you there June 14th. Tomorrow night, I will see you from the Creeper Gallery. Not sure if Chris will be there or not, depending on how she feels. I'd rather her be rested and feeling great for the wedding and for Liberty Hall this weekend. See some of you there Saturday night, Liberty Hall. Nikki's going to be coming, helping us out. It's going to be me, Chris, Nikki, and Danielle. Love Liberty Hall, another place I love. The attic, I really enjoy because of the creepy dolls. And the Carriage House, which I hope to get in. If it's raining, I can't do the Carriage House, but if it's not, I'll do the Carriage House. But costume party, right? The Friday night VIP party is a costume party. We were originally going to do the expo on the weekend of Halloween. The first VIP party was supposed to be Halloween night, but a lot of the celebrities have kids, so they didn't want to travel, so we pushed it back. Speaking of Halloween, we are planning a Halloween night ghost hunt with special guests. So I'm going to say about that. Way too far to talk about that, but we are planning a Halloween night ghost hunt with special guests. So to look forward to that too. Anyway, that's it. When you see me next, it'll be surrounded by haunted objects at the Creeper Gallery located in New Hope, Pennsylvania. I'll be there tomorrow night starting at 7:30. So Timmy, I almost called him Timmy. I almost insulted Scooter. Scooter will say goodnight. See you tomorrow from the Creeper Gallery. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, more Ghost Walk dates will be announced soon. Dalen, June 21st. If you want tickets for that, email New Jersey Paranormal, one word, New Jersey Paranormal, spell it out, yahoo.com. Only 4 tickets left. Don't miss out on that. Tickets are available for Centenary University, July 5th. Go to the link for that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.